All right, everyone, today we're talking about my 3 top health tips. And you might be asking, why is this important? Well, if you're wanting to excel in business, in life, be the best parent, the best spouse, that's important because your health is your wealth and it's something that you need to focus on. And these are 3 things that for me have been monumental in the past 4 years. I've gotten really, really serious about my health again. And over an amount of time, I told myself the story that I needed to grow my business. I needed to focus on this. I needed to devote all my time to this at the harm or detriment to my family, to my health, to everything else for some amount of time. And honestly, I pushed health off the furthest, right? Like I got back to having more family time and doing all these other things much quicker than I got back to focusing on me being the best me I can be so I can be the best I can be for everybody else, right? That's why this is so huge. That's the typical thing we all get into. And then we just keep pushing it to the side. And ultimately, all the work you put in to build your business and make money or do whatever it is you're going to do, does it matter if you're not going to live that long? Or you can't enjoy that lifespan you have, right? Because your health degrades so quickly, or you're so overweight or unhealthy or stricken by all these other things. And given that I understand a bunch of crazy stuff can happen that you have zero control over. But we have an opportunity and a responsibility to take control of the controllables. Like I can control how I treat my body and the decisions I make. That's the best I can do. So some crazy stuff can come up, disease, all these other things, but I'm going to take control and try to do my best, right? Like, I don't know, I could still end up having cancer in a year, but I'm going to put my best foot forward because just because that could happen doesn't mean fuck it, who cares? I'm just gonna be whimsical and do whatever, eat whatever, do whatever risky health-wise thing. I don't know. Putting your best foot forward in this and giving yourself the best opportunity to have as much experience and fun and opportunity in your life, and even bigger, like how many awesome, successful entrepreneurs or people have you ever met that weren't high energy? Being healthy, being, within a reasonable weight, staying fit, training, doing all these things, it allows you to have more energy, which then in turn makes more success for everything else. And it's not just your business, it's your relations, it's everything. So these are my 3 biggest tips. And the thing that I'm not going to include in this at all is whatever kind of training or working out or thing it is that you do to advance your health even more. That's something that, whether it's you just trying to get in a bunch of steps, whatever your thing is, some form of training, some form of working out is massive, but that's not what we're talking about today. So number 1, this is one you hear time and time again, but it is so massive. And this tool right here, this tool, Oura Ring, and then this tool right here, just my watch, my Garmin, 2 big pieces of how I watch this metric. And this is sleep. Sleep is massive. It's how we recover. It's how we get better if we're sick. It's how we making sure I get adequate sleep and I'm not pushing myself, burning myself at both ends, trying to work or whatever the case may be, is going to mean that I recover quicker. If I train a lot, it's going to mean I recover quicker. It's going to mean that I build adaptations quicker, right? And so sleep, this is a huge thing. Getting an appropriate amount. Some people need less, some people need more. But there has been this thing in business and in entrepreneurship where like, I don't need sleep, I'll rest when I'm dead. Well, it's going to cause you to die quicker, and it's going to cause you to be less successful because if you have less sleep, you're not as sharp. What is business about? It's about making decisions, sharp or fuzzy, and having to make decisions. What sounds better? There's a couple things that I really like to look for here. One is like actual duration of how long I'm sleeping. That's what I watch on my ring and everything. And I'm always wanting to see that, like, for me, the sweet spot is 7, 10, 7, 20, 7 hours, 10, 20 minutes. That's awesome for me. It's pretty standard just because I've only got so much time to sleep is 6.5, 6:40. And both of these take, for me to get 7 hours and 20 minutes of true sleep, I have to sleep for 8, right? I have to be in bed for 8. And then same thing, if I want to get 6:20, 6:10, I have to be in bed for at least 7. And so here's the things that I look for on this metric. I'm looking for like how quickly am I falling asleep, the latency, how many restless moments I have, and what could I do to augment that? Maybe some kind of supplementation, some kind of different practice. Maybe I ate too late. Maybe I drank too much water late in the night and I have to get up and go to the bathroom. All these little things are things you can tweak to make this better. So number one, sleep. And those are some things you can do to make it better. Number two, supplementation. I even kind of mentioned this in sleep because there's things like magnesium and different supplements that will help sleep. But supplementation is huge. Getting blood work done to know what you're deficient in and what you might need more of. Is sodium level, is vitamin B, D, anything in your body, is it out of whack? Is it not where it needs to be? Do I need to adjust that? And then making sure that if there's some other things like testing and measuring those, right? Something that I just recently started using is ashwagandha. I feel like it's made my focus better. Other things that I use and that are more longevity focused because I care about trying to have the optimal, not just lifespan, but health span, is resveratrol, just a multivitamin, and a couple different other things like omegas and whatever that is, fish oil, I believe. But, I'm no scientist on this stuff. But so learning, testing, and measuring and looking for the best things that you can take to try to promote good health, huge. Now, do I think you should be taking fistfuls of pills every day? I hate that whole deal, and I want to try to stay away from that. And I've been very, very intrigued by the genetic tests out there that truly figure out you need this is what we create for you, and this is exactly what we give you in supplementation, so you're not just taking fistfuls of pills. And I've done genetic testing also to figure out what are some of the genetic breaks that I can supplement for, and that's why I take other certain supplements as well. Another thing in blood work and supplementation for me is testosterone therapy. I'm on TRT because my testosterone was wrecked and through the floor, and it was most likely due to a lot of traumatic head injuries, and your pituitary gland controls that, right? So these are all things that if you're trying to optimize, you're trying to stay healthy, look at your health as a whole, get yourself checked out, and then supplement and try to be on the cutting edge of what is going to help you do better. The creatine is another huge supplement. It's proven to be a neurotropic, and it also helps with muscle building and other things in the body. And it's like one of the most studied supplements out there, right? So this is not me telling you what to do. This is me saying, here are some things to go off in the weeds about and enjoy the testing and looking and learning, because being intrigued in health is also a tactic and something that's really important that I'm not even talking about. So if you want to be healthy, be interested in what helps health, right? Now, finally, whole foods. This has been the last of the three things that have been massive to me. For so long, I did what everyone does. And because, our whole U.S. economy, and not even economy, just our society pushes, this easy food thing, this easy food stuff, right? Fast food, fast this, fast that. And what you end up with is a bunch of highly processed foods versus whole foods, foods that haven't been as processed, foods that have no processing. And focusing a diet around those things is overall going to be a healthier diet because you don't have as many chemicals. You don't have as many things involved. And yes, is there still stuff in food? Yes, there's always going to be something in food that you can probably stay away from, or you could paint a case for why that shouldn't be in there. But the more you stay away from processed and the more you stay to whole, you're making a great move in a good direction. And an easy way to start that process is when you go to the store, stay away from the aisles. Shop around the perimeter. That's where you're going to see whole food, fruits, meats, milk, things of this manner. Is there some processing in milk? Yes. There's probably some processing in different forms of meat, dyes, and all these different things. There's so much to look at. But ultimately, you're going to have less on those edges around the perimeter, cheeses, eggs, things of that nature, than you're going to have in the aisles where you find sugar-filled cereals, the bags of chip, the frozen pizza, the ice cream, all the different things that you find in the aisles of a store. So these are the three things that have been super, super massive to me, and I'm glad I can share that with you, because if you want to be your best self for everybody else, for you, health is huge. These are just three things that have been really big for me in the last few years that have made a massive difference. Share this with someone else that you want to push them in the right direction and give them some ideas and things to think about because they're geeked out on health. And like this and leave a comment below about what's been the biggest thing for you in the past few years that's helped your health.